Hi and welcome back to my garden here in South Wales. It's a lovely sunny day today in March, so I thought I'd get outside and start a few of the jobs that need doing, like trimming back this miscanthus grass. It's already started putting on new growth, so I want to chop down the old last year's growth so it can put all its energy into this year. I've also treated myself to a new Floribunda bush rose. I like the tropical colours in this one. Lovely colours of red and orange. I gotta get this into the ground. Hopefully by the summer it'll look like this. I also wanted some more fruit trees in the garden, so I bought 2 of these. These were quite reasonably priced, 2 for £12, and they're pear trees. They're bare rooted fruit trees, so firstly they've got to be soaked before I can plant them into the ground. I've already got 2 plum trees in the garden, and I wanted to make a crumble last year but only had 2 plums. Also, this is new. It's a new type of cordyline. We got to get this into a larger pot, which I think I'll probably keep up by the tiki bar. It's quite a good size already, this plant, and it was $37.50, which I don't think is too bad really for a plant of this size. This weekend I've also got to fix this bamboo screening. Remember last week when my garden mural wall fell down? Well, we've managed to get things back on track now. Unfortunately, this large phormium which was in the corner took the brunt of it, and that was flattened. I had to cut it back as all the leaves were broken, but hopefully it will come back. I don't know how long it'll take, but I'm sure it will recover. Fingers crossed anyway. With the weather being so mild here in Wales this year, the plants are starting to grow. This euphorbia is definitely looking good, and so is this phormium. It was a lot of work last week after the mural wall collapsed into the garden. There was breeze blocks everywhere, and it took us a full day really to get the garden back on track. I had to redo some of the borders, save the plants, cut some back and put a new pathway down. But we did it. It's just the new wall now to build in place, and hopefully that'll be done in the next few days. I've also placed some landscaping bark in between the plants on this area here. I think it looks better than bare earth. And here is where the greenhouse is going to go. That is on order and will hopefully be here by the end of the month. All in all, the garden is looking good. Now it's March. It won't be long before the weather warms up and we can look forward to spending some time out here. I'm so glad that we've actually got it looking back to normal again. The camellia that I moved a few weeks ago is now starting to flower. It was so lucky not to have been hit by that falling wall. And the hellebores now in the centre of the garden are in full flower too. There's loads of them. Down here is the bottom of the garden. I've had a little bit of a jig about with the plants, and this one here is starting to bud. I've never had one of these before, and I bought it from the clearance section, but hopefully in the next few weeks it'll be covered with bright yellow flowers. I moved one of the plum trees to here. It's only small, and this is the tree that gave us our 2 plums last year. My Schefflera Taiwaniana was only tiny. This went in last year and it's really put on a lot of size. It's tucked away in the shade at the back of the border. In the middle of the garden here, this is where I planted the 3 Floribunda roses. Floribunda just means that they're going to grow in a spray with lots of different roses rather than just one single one. I prefer that as I get a lot more flowers through the season. I haven't really done anything special with them. I've just planted them in some ericaceous compost. This is where I planted one of the pear trees, and I've put a wooden stake in it and tied it with some tree tie. Hopefully it'll grow well here. I found out though that I won't get any pears for about 7 years. I'll be almost 60 before I get any pears. I can't wait now though for the greenhouse to be put here. We're having it installed as well because I wouldn't be able to do that. It's far too fiddly, especially with it being glass and all. This is where I keep my compost bin in the corner. The plants are doing much better now in this area of the garden, especially this Euphorbia John Phillips. Since we took that wooden summer house structure down, it's really opened up the garden with plenty of sunshine. I think it'll stay a lot brighter in the garden too with a lower wall when we have that built. We've decided that to keep our privacy, we'll plant a plum tree there. The landscaping bark looks lovely here. It really makes the stepping stone stand out. I love the colour on some of these plants, especially the really bright, vivid greens. I've trimmed the miscanthus grasses back now, and it looks really bare without them, but hopefully it'll do them good. The banana, well, that's coming along great. I removed the top and had a little bit of a feel, and it feels firm all the way down. I can actually see that it's growing leaves and these have pushed out to the top, so it's definitely alive. I can't wait to unwrap it, but it's far too soon yet. Look at the colour on these grasses, they're lovely and bright green. I also bought some Hebes. I loved the form on this one. When my greenhouse arrives and the weather warms up, I'm definitely going to take some cuttings of this plant and put a few more around the garden. And this one is a different type of Hebe. Still beautiful though. I've been after these plants for a while. These are Brunneras. Shade-loving plants. I'll get these in as soon as possible. Lovely shaped leaves with really small delicate blue flowers. It's lovely this weekend with the weather being dry and the pathway all fixed and new. The plants are back in place. We were devastated last weekend when we woke up and found that the garden had all collapsed underneath all the breeze blocks. But within a week, we've done it. We're back to normal. And both of us couldn't be happier. Just waiting for some warmer weather to arrive now. As always, thank you for watching.